You got to connect with the Divine Mother. You've got to, because she is rising now. She is rising fully. And we have had to take on masculine roles and ways of being for so long. And to me, the most important thing is to open your heart to the Divine Mother and allow her to nurture you. Because if I had to say one thing of what the Divine Feminine is, it's nurture.
Hello, and welcome to Women Awakening. I'm your host, Cynthia James, and I get the honor, actually the privilege, of introducing you to women from around the world who are change makers and way showers, right? They're here to share their wisdom and their courage and really support you in becoming more conscious and help us build a compassionate, loving world. This is a time for women emerging from my point of view. And so I'm inviting you, the listener, to absolutely stand in the awareness that you're powerful, you're dynamic, you're gifted, you're a leader, and you're here to create change. Today, we're going to talk about Mary's message for modern women, and I can't wait to dive in and show you what that means. So today, if the show resonates with you, please subscribe, please share, and leave a comment. It really helps us bring more women's voices to the world. You can also connect with me at cynthiajames.net. Okay, my guest today, I've known for quite a while. Her name is Jennifer Ruth Russell. She's an award-winning author, a spiritual mentor, a songwriter, and beloved podcaster whose work uplifts thousands of light workers around the world. She is the founder and guiding force of the Angels of Abundance Ascension Academy, where students experience deep transformation through Ascension teachings, Mother Mary's guidance, and the new faith currency. Jennifer's intimate and ongoing partnership with Mother Mary is at the heart of her published work, now spanning 6 books, and her 7th came out in February of 2026. Her podcast, Morning Light Meditations, has surpassed 170,000 downloads and ranks in the top 10% globally. Each episode blends guided meditation, prayer, and original music, offering listeners a sanctuary of peace and a sacred way to set the tone of each day. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, I am so grateful. What a privilege it is to be here and to be in your presence. As I just said, you are the eternal blossom. I think of you that way. The songstress, my teacher. I just am so grateful to be here with you and to absolutely speak about Mother Mary and her beautiful message for us.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. So I want to start with where you were born and how you grew up.
I was born in a small village in Ethiopia, East Africa. My parents and my grandparents were Presbyterian missionaries, and, I was raised in, evangelical Christian, and I came to the States, in my late teens, and, moving from there, being a daughter of a preacher, a missionary, I had a freedom journey, I will call it, instead of a rebellion, I'll call it a freedom journey. And I just was like I couldn't go into a church actually for about 10 years without getting claustrophobic.
Wow.
And, I had a lot to sift through because there were a lot of things that I wasn't quite in alignment with, and it was given with a lot of shame and guilt and manipulation. So as I came into my own freedom journey, I found eventually Agape International Spiritual Center. I became a practitioner there, and I started, really learning the metaphysical work that I still love to this day. And then I kind of outgrew that. I mean, I went to another place of really wanting a more personal connection with the ascended ones. It was almost like I came to a place that there weren't any more teachers for me on this planet. I felt
Uh,
that. I don't
yeah.
know if you've ever felt that, but it's just like, okay, I started studying the ascended masters and the archangels and Saint Germain's work through the I Am discourses and the Bridge to Freedom work, which is all about the I am presence. And I was very drawn to the I am presence because
Mhm.
the I am presence gave me, I guess maybe it was bringing me all the way full circle back of having a personal relationship with the divine. For me, that's what really happened, which clicked, which now I know is the key to open up the temples of heaven.
Absolutely, and well, and for me, where that has occurred has been my taking people on pilgrimage to sacred sites around the
Mm,
world
so
and
beautiful.
allowing the energy and the teachings and the essence and the masters to come through differently for everybody, but it's like I too am very grateful for my lineage, my spiritual lineage, but I do think that there's a time that has you have to come to the place where you say, "Okay, what is my direct connect?" And I wanna talk I'm interested in Mother Mary because I've taken people to the Shot Cathedral, and, that whole cathedral is dedicated to her. So, how did Mother Mary come to you in a way that you wanted to bring the message to the world?
You know, I really see from this journey looking backwards, because this has been maybe a 17-year journey now. I was hungry to know the divine feminine. Okay. I had no experience with the divine feminine. And I literally just said one day, I need to find out who Mama God is and experience her. And at this time, I mean, I remember going down to a little vintage store and got a little statuette of Mother Mary, which I still have on my altar. And I heard a new rosary. I kind of picked it up and made it my own and started using that. And I was in the deep study of the Seven Sacred Flames by Aurelia Louise Jones.
Mhm.
And my journey has been as a musician, as a spiritual mentor, as a missionary kid, the feeling of like I'm left out of the party of abundance. Okay. I always felt like that had been my journey. And when I found out on the fifth ray, which is the emerald green ray, it's a ray of healing. These rays are just, streams and rivers of consciousness, but they have beautiful colors, emerald green. It's a ray of healing, illumined truth, and abundance and immaculate. And abundance flows through the immaculate heart of Mother Mary. And I was like, what does that mean? You know, I had no reference point for that, but what does that mean? So I asked that question for many years, all the time, just in a deep inquiry. And I was in Ukraine as a music inspiration for actually a Science of Mind conference. Of course, they couldn't call it that then. And, I went into this beautiful roadside attraction that was just, like, overgrown. I mean, I just loved it because it wasn't organized, and in an old museum, which was really an old house, there was a picture of Mother Mary, and as I looked at her, I heard her voice call my name, and that's when everything just changed. She said, "I wanna talk to you every day. I want you to start communing with me. I wanna mentor you," and that's how it began.
Well, I love that. I think I spoke to you before we started recording that I had interviewed a woman named Jane Pinto, almost the identical description that you just said. Mother Mary just started talking to her and saying, "I wanna commune and I want you to bring messages of love to the planet." And so
Mhm.
alright, so talk to me about, the Angels of Abundance Ascension Academy.
So, whenever Mother Mary comes to me, she's
Mhm.
surrounded in this beautiful halo of gold, which are the angels of abundance. The angels of abundance are actually real. They are from the 10th sphere, the 10th dimension of infinite abundance, eternal peace, and the God supply of all that is good. And they have been as much a part of this journey as Mother Mary. So every time I commune with Mother Mary, the angels of abundance are there. And it is, I believe, our calling, the things that we're really wanting to know, the question mark that I feel like I'm still living in it. It's like I want to know more, but I still want to keep the question open. And I feel very much the nurturing of abundance has been my journey. And so that's where I take people. I'm gonna read you just the forward. It's really short on this book because
This is the latest book you got?
This is actually the latest book is a combination of my first 2 books,
Mhm.
and, this is what Mother Mary says, and this is the work that the seed of all the work. Mother Sophia has always provided everything for her beloved children. Humankind has been toiling in a barren field for so long. This field of your own making, it is of your own making, and it doesn't produce an everlasting harvest. It is time to come back into the fullness of her embrace, to lay down your arms of struggle from your little self and surrender into the tender love and intimacy of her lavish care. The table has been laid out with the finest china, utensils of pure gold, and goblets of pure diamonds and jeweled crystals. This table is always full of all that you'd ever desire. Come and sup with me here until you are full of remembrance of your true divine nature. And her message continuously is you are you are powerful and you are precious. And those 2 things have been my journey of how to really come into the divine feminine and how to receive. I had to work through a lot of unworthiness, undeservedness to get to that place of really allowing myself to be loved and to be precious. Precious is so much is so she even wrote one of her writings is around it's not about being special. It's about remembering your preciousness.
Yes. Well,
Because
that
when we get into special, it gets into this whole other bag of worms.
yeah. Who's better, who's not yeah, totally get but, I
Yeah.
guess I wanna ask you about beginners,
Mhm.
because you've done a lot of work. I mean, you said this has been a 17-year journey, and so if I'm looking at this program and I'm a woman and I want to open to those divine teachings, but I'm not sure maybe I can put my toe in the water, but I'm not sure I can take the deep dive. What do you say to them? Because this work is
Com
important.
It is important and it's so fundamentally simple that it doesn't matter what level you are of learning because Mother Mary asks you to come into her heart and to join your heart with her heart. It's a very simple place, but it is a place of such intimacy that I have to tell you, Cynthia, it healed my heart, it healed my finances, it healed my relationships, it healed my life in just that simple place of remembering my preciousness and taking me through these these high principles which the highest principle can always be broken down to something very simple,
Mhm.
you know? And I feel privileged now to carry this work on and, to have a community around me that keeps pulling it out of me, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Well, I do, and I'm thinking that your podcast is a beautiful entree
Mhm.
point because people get to come in and they get to listen and they get to experience meditation and prayer and your music, because I know music is important to you. So tell me, because I know you're a music director and doing a lot of different stuff. So tell me how music fits into this for you.
What a great question. What a great question. It's a fundamental place that I began. I began, doing music when I was 7 years old. But the music that's happening now it's filled with light language, it's filled with the intention of transmitting light, of transmitting healing. So it's some of the books that have come out now, Opulence Infusion, A New Faith Currency, it was accompanied with a whole album of light language songs. Some of them the calibration chamber, I mean, it's really about lifting up to a new level of abundance so that we can walk on a higher level of in this world because everything is crashing, which it needs to. It will, you
Mhm.
know? And music and my beloved Michael is thank goodness he's an audiophile and a great studio engineer because he loves to take our ideas and just put them under these meditations and make them just exquisite. I gotta say the sound on these meditations are so beautiful. They're simple. A lot of them are taken directly out of the writings that Mother Mary has given me, and it just comes with a simple premise of how you're gonna start your day. You know, let's plant a thought that you're gonna carry through the rest of the day and have a blessed day, and they're very simple. They're usually no longer than 10, 12 minutes, some are even shorter than that. But, music to me is what helps us receive the message, which
Mhm.
helps us go beyond, as you know, the logical mind. You know, I remember once you sang "How Great Thou Art" to us as a class when we were all in a frenzy, and you were just like you just started singing. It was like commanded attention. It was so cool. It was like, oh, it was like one of those moments in my life I'll never forget. But it is, music is really the way to the soul that goes beyond logic, and that's why I don't think you have to know a lot to get that you're precious, to get that you're powerful, that you are a powerful co-creator, and this is why we're here right now.
Yes. Yeah. And so, okay, you've written all these books, you're writing music. What's your process for opening to allow these things to come through you?
It's so simple. I keep coming back to that word. I guess it's a core value of mine. But when Mother Mary asked me to be with her every day, I just started by simply sitting in the silence and just started feeling her energy, just inviting her in. And it's true that there is this universal law that we need to ask. We need to call. We need to make the call because no one will interfere with us if we don't. So I just made the simple call that, she would come and be with me. And then I would just start writing down questions and I would start hearing the answer. That's as simple as my process is. And it's still that simple today, except there's gotten to be a lot more characters in it and a lot more. Um, it's grown, but it hasn't grown in a complicated way. To me, it's been very organic in just bringing in more of the teachings and Saint Germain's teachings on the way of ascension. They're just so powerful, and they're flooded in these meditations and in these books. They're everywhere. Yeah.
So I love that. And I want to just talk a little bit about becoming still.
Mhm.
Because sometimes clients come to me, I work with leaders and things, and they come to me and they go, I don't know how to be still. My mind can't shut off. I've got the laundry list and all of that. But for you, were you always able to just sit down and listen? And if not, how did you learn that?
I don't think it's anything that you learn. I really think you're always in 1st grade. You always are in this place of having to just, be because we live in such a world of distraction. But really, to me, it's just like using anything you can. The breath always works for me. Going into my heart first and anchoring and grounding in my heart as that beautiful place of being on earth and yet being totally connected to all that is. And then allowing the breath to just deepen just by following the breath. Following the breath, it's like a busy mind like mine needs something to do. So the following of the breath seems to work really well for me.
Yes, me too.
And then to acknowledge that I'm the consciousness that is here with my hand on my heart and breathing. I am this, I am that I am. And then connecting with my own beautiful divinity, which has taken me a lot of, let me say, pursuit to feel the bliss of this connection. Because most of our divinity is like sitting in a high place that we haven't had anything to do with. So it has been to me like a courting of,
Mm,
I am one with my beloved, I am presence. I am one with that holy Christ Buddha self within me. And repeating that over and over again has been a journey of connection. Because to me, this is our true oneness. We're trying to get to that place where these parts of ourselves just become one thing. And then stillness will be everything. We'll just be still all the time. But
yeah.
that simple process I do every day. I just, invite this higher part of myself to take over my mind and my body. And then I'm ready to open up to all that is, which includes Mother Mary. So to me, there's a real specific order of things. I can't just jump in and say, okay, let's just do a channeling with Mother Mary right now. I mean, I mean, I can. I mean, if you would ask me a question right now, I could get into that mode. It would take me a moment, but to me, it's a very intimate and sacred place,
Yes, absolutely.
and I really honor it that way. I do a live Q&A every month with my community, and it is it is precious, and it is so powerful. Oh,
That's beautiful.
yeah, it is
Yeah, really
beautiful.
beautiful. How do people find you and your work?
You know, go to jenniferruthrussell.com. That's all you have to do, just my name, and, everything you need. There's different levels, there's different places you can join us. You can just come and have tea with Mother Mary and I once a month, just a simple time of being together and being in her presence, and, there's something very special about calling it a divine feminine. In
Mm,
fact, the place that we do when you have a spiritual community, okay, I just gotta put this in here because a spiritual community that has been developed over time, you create a vortex. You create a
mm.
force field, and you probably recognize this when you get with your community and all of a sudden you're here together. There is something incredible that happens,
Yes,
and I really, truly treasure this, and I am so grateful that I have stuck in here for the long haul.
and I'm grateful too, absolutely. Well, I ask the same last question of every guest. The show is called Women Awakening. What do you think is the most important thing about women awakening in this moment?
You gotta connect with the Divine Mother. You've got to, because, she is rising now. She is rising fully, and we have had to take on masculine roles and ways of being for so long, and to me, the most important thing is to open your heart to the Divine Mother and allow her to nurture you, because if I had to say one thing of what the Divine Feminine is, it's nurture,
Mm,
and we need to be nurtured as women. We need to nurture ourselves. We need to absolutely look at my song, I Am Worthy, because it's all about I'm worthy of my own love. You know, coming into that place of really loving yourself and discovering yourself as precious. Ah,
mhm.
that's it.
That is so beautiful. Well, Jennifer, thank you for being here. Thank you for
Mm,
the work that you're doing and your commitment and your heart. It's quite a beautiful thing to witness.
thank you. Thank you for such an honor to be here. And I bless you, my beautiful, blossoming, eternal flower. I just love that you are still, moving in this world in such a beautiful way, and it's always an honor to be in your presence. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, ladies, I hope that you could, more than the words today, that you could take in the energy, that you could take in the beauty and the power of what Jennifer was talking about, because it's frequency. And that energy, that frequency is transformative. I love that she said, "You are precious," that Mother Mary says, "You are precious." Wow, what if you walk away from this today just claiming that I am precious? Thanks for being here. Thanks for subscribing and sharing with other women. Thank you for coming to cynthiajames.net. I'm so grateful to walk this path with you. You are beauty made manifest. I love you, and I will see you soon.